welcome to Carol's Universe Tarot readings from the heart. So today's reading is for your year ahead reading for the year 2015, and this is for the zodiac sign of Libra. So just to let you know how I do these year ahead readings, Libra, basically I shuffle the cards and I pick 12 cards from the top to represent the 12 months. Okay, and how we're going to do this reading is I'm going to compartmentalize the months. Okay, so I'm going to do these in 3-month segments. So I'm not going to do it sort of in January this is going to happen, in February this is going to happen, in March this is going to happen. What I'm going to do is I'm going to look at your reading from January to March, April to June, July to September, and then October to December. And I'm just going to sort of give you an overall idea of what I think prospectively could happen for some of you Librans on a 3-month by 3-month basis in the year 2015. So let's make a start here. So I think, and also just to let you know, at the end of the reading I'm going to show you a 13th card picked, which will sort of summarise the whole of the reading. So starting off from January to March 2015, you know, I really think that this reading, before I start, is about universal intervention. I think it's about learning lessons, and I think it's about being able to look at 2015 and think about what you can learn from that and how you can make 2016 the absolute year that you want. Now, this is not a bad reading, okay, but I think it is about learning lessons, and I think it is about kind of, for some of you guys, I'm getting the idea that you're going to have to kind of learn about why things aren't turning out for some of you guys the way that you want it to turn out. And it's about, I think, staying in a situation that's potentially unhealthy for you, and the universe stepping in and saying, no, we've got to do something about this. Let me make a start, and hopefully I'll show you exactly what I mean. I think it's a pretty good reading, but I'll leave it up to you what you think. So January 2015 to March 2015, we have you feeling trapped, feeling that you can't get out of a situation potentially. There's very little movement here, lack of clarity, and just generally feeling like I want to move but I can't. And we also have the universe sort of stepping in and saying, if you won't do it by yourself, then universal law will do it for you. Or the universe, sorry, will just do it for you, because we want you to be the best, in the best position that you can be, and you're not moving on your own, so we're going to have to do something that's going to encourage you to do that. And I'll show you what I mean. For the first 3 months, January to March 2015, we've got the 8 of Swords, the Tower card, let's do it in this order, the Tower card, and then we've got the Wheel of Fortune. So as soon as I saw these cards, I thought immediately, I've got kind of an idea of what's going on here for some of you Librans in the first 3 months of 2015. And I think for some of you guys it's going to be a case of that you're feeling trapped and potentially oppressed by a situation, and I think this could be going on from 2014. And you could move out of it because there's a gap here between the swords. But this lady doesn't want to move. She doesn't want to really. She could walk out. She could turn around and walk. Her feet aren't bound, so she could turn away and walk. But she doesn't. She kind of stays there. You know, she kind of stays in the trap, which I'm thinking is kind of like of her own making in a way. But I think what happens next is the universe steps in and it says, no, enough. Something's got to change with you, and if you're not going to do it yourself, then we're going to help you do it. We're going to help you along here. When you get the Tower card, I mean, if I've ever had the Tower card in a reading, at first it has made me feel afraid. It's probably the card that I least like in the tarot, but it's probably one of the best cards you can get in the tarot as well, because the Tower card is all about unexpected changes, so unexpected upheavals, things that are out of your control happening to you, situations occurring, events occurring that kind of shake you up. But it's never a bad thing, because it really is one of those situations where when something happens at first where you think that's not good and I didn't like that, what then happens from that is that something always good comes out of it. And I think that this is the universe's way of saying, for some of you Librans, in January through to March, if you won't move on your own, then we'll have to help you move. We'll have to help you, you know, unravel these, you know, this rope that's wrapped around you. And I think that that's potentially within those first 3 months. For some of you guys, you're going to be feeling trapped. You're going to be feeling kind of like you can't move. But something suddenly will just happen. For some of you guys, it might be unexpected. Suddenly something will just come out of the blue and kind of shake your world a little bit. But through the universe doing that, what will happen, I believe, is it will encourage you to move, because we have the Wheel of Fortune here. And it's funny how we've got the Wheel of Fortune next to the Tower card, where we've got the crumbling of the structures going on, and then we've got the building up of them again, because what goes down must always come up, okay? And I certainly feel that through the crumbling of the structures that are already there, the structures that are falling apart anyway, the universe really just helps this process along and completely sort of breaks something down in order to help you build it up again. We've got the Wheel of Fortune here, and I believe that in those first 3 months of the year 2015, something will happen, an event will happen potentially for some of you guys that will kind of maybe rock your world at first. It might be a surprise to you. It might be something that you weren't expecting, and it's all of a sudden, wow, what am I going to do now? Or, you know, how come this has happened? But then the universe comes in and says, this has happened, but we're going to help you out here now, okay? Because this has made you move. This has made you, you know, this has woken you from that sleep. You know, this is making you move. And now your fortunes are going to change for the better, okay? And it was kind of backed up to me in a way. Well, it wasn't actually backed up, because I think potentially this Wheel of Fortune for April through to June, and I think this is kind of a story for 2015 for you guys. It leads us on to the 8 of Pentacles, the 7 of Wands and the 5 of Wands. Now, I'm going to start with the 8 of Pentacles and just say that this is all about being dedicated to a job. You want to get it done. You're just focused. You want to get the job done. It's all to do with, you know, working hard, learning new skills. For some of you guys, it might be a case of that the Wheel of Fortune is something else that you go into. Okay, so for example, if it was a job situation that you really, really, really didn't like, and you were feeling trapped and oppressed, it might be that the boss walks in on a Tuesday and says, I want you to leave by 4 o'clock because I've got no more work for you. And though that might be difficult at first, because we've all got our bills to pay, it releases you from being bound with the 8 of Swords, and it allows the universe then to start turning things around for you, because you're out of that resistance mode. You're out of the thing that is trapping you. That's just a hypothetical scenario, of course. But from April through to June, we can see that you're working hard towards something. But unfortunately, looking at the other two cards that came up for that 3-month segment, it does show that potentially there will be some opposition again coming your way. So if some of you guys are feeling oppressed with the Eight of Swords in the first 3 months, what the Wheel of Fortune does, it's not a permanent thing a lot of the time. The Wheel of Fortune will turn and give you some good luck if you aren't down on your luck, okay? But this might be a temporary thing that happens. And it might be, this is why I was saying that I believe that this reading is about learning lessons. Because sometimes when something keeps occurring, it's there to teach us something. It's there to kind of send out a massive sign to you. If something keeps happening in your life and you're thinking, why does this keep happening to me? Or, you know, why is this happening to me? It's usually to teach us something in our lives. And I think with the Seven of Wands, which is all about facing opposition, having to stand your ground, facing adversaries, this suggests to me that potentially if some of you guys are going into a new role or a new job or a new venture where you're going to need to work hard, you might have to learn something, you know, and you're trying to apply yourself. I think for some of you guys from April to June, it might be a case of this second chance that the Wheel of Fortune has sent to you might work out for a little while, but I believe that you're going to be facing some opposition with that potentially. This isn't a negative reading, by the way. You can take it how you feel that you should take it, but, you know, just listen to the rest and you'll see what I mean. And we've got the Five of Wands here as well, where the Five of Wands is all about disagreement. It's about fights and disruptions and really accepting your limitations. And I think that what this is saying to me is that you're needing to learn a lesson more than anything else, and that potentially if you've been feeling trapped and bound in something, and then the universe comes in and says we're going to try and push you in a particular direction, you get a bit of fortune coming the first 3 months, but then after a while it kind of potentially goes back to what you were experiencing potentially within the first 3 months of January. Because as I've said, we have the Seven and the Five of Wands, and both of these cards really do signify disagreements, opposition. And whereas with the Seven of Wands, it's all about standing your ground and, you know, not letting anyone get you down and really kind of just being strong. This is also a card about struggling against something. And I think that within those next 3 months, April to June 2015, some of you guys will say, I can't be bothered with this. This is just too much of a struggle for me. It's too much of a, you know, a head doer. I can't be bothered to start fighting whatever about whatever. I can't be bothered with an argument. I can't be bothered with any of that stuff. And I believe that, to me, the Five of Wands is all about letting go as well, because I think that when you hit a brick wall and when you kind of, you know, you come to a point in your life where you say, nah, this is just too much like hard work for me and I don't enjoy it, and, you know, there's too many egos in the place, or I'm fighting this or I'm fighting that, and I don't want to live my life like that. It's about accepting those limitations to me and saying, you know, I'm not going to keep trying to push and push and push for something. If it ain't working out, I'm going to leave it. And I think for some of you guys from April through to June, you'll be doing that, you'll be leaving it. And this was backed up to me kind of in the next 3 months of 2015. And that's July through to September. We have, let's put these cards down. We have the Eight of Cups, and this card is all about walking away from something. So walking away from a situation that makes you feel unbalanced, that makes you feel kind of a little bit off centre. And certainly I think that with the Seven of Wands and the Five of Wands, those two situations would make anybody feel unbalanced. You know, it would just make you feel fairly limited, especially if it's with the Five of Wands, something that you just feel like, I want to leave it, I can't be bothered with it, I'm just going to let go of it because, you know, I'm banging my head against a brick wall. So I think that the Eight of Cups shows in the next 3 months, we're looking at July through to September, some of you guys will be walking away from something because you want balance in your life, and whatever the situation that's running through, partly through the year, it will show that you can't be bothered. And the beauty of this is that when we look at the Wheel of Fortune, the Wheel of Fortune, as I said, can just be a temporary measure, a temporary thing that the universe sends into you to change your fortunes for a while, but it is up to you to carry that through and to carry that forward. But I believe that the Wheel of Fortune's energy is still running with you, because we have the Ace of Pentacles and the Ace of Cups. And the Ace of Pentacles can be about new projects, business ventures, new business ideas, and essentially new beginnings. So I believe that after April through to June, where you were facing, where for some of you may be facing some opposition, and you just decide to leave the situation, you decide to give up on it, you decide, you know, I know what my limitations are with this, I'm not going to bother fighting it anymore, that you walk away from it, and the universe again gives you more. The universe says, there you go, there's another business venture, there's another idea, there's another ray of hope there for you, there's another new beginning for you. And we have the Ace of Cups, and a lot of the time the Ace of Cups is about, you know, love being offered and all of that type of thing, but and new beginnings emotionally. But I believe that this Ace of Cups is about a new beginning within you. So I believe that for you guys, you will have learnt the lessons of the past, you know, 6, 7, 8 months, and you'll be saying, no, I'm not doing what I did before, I'm moving on in another direction. And I really believe that through the Ace of Pentacles, having another new beginning, potentially a new project coming in, if you're self-employed, a new self-employed project, or if it's a job, a new job, whatever that is that brings in money. I believe that you'll be feeling happy with the new beginning that's coming in for you, and there'll be a change of you in you. You won't be feeling bound and trapped, and you won't be feeling that you need to fight and argue, or you need to fight anyone anymore for anything. But I believe that with the second opportunity that comes in 2015 for you guys, between the month of July through to September, that you'll be really happy about this new beginning that's starting with the Ace of Pentacles. And the final 3 cards I'd like to show you, which would represent October 2015 through to December 2015, are the Four of Cups, Five of Cups, and Justice. And I think with this reading, because we all know that the Four of Cups is about having opportunities and having the good things staring you in the face, but kind of ignoring them through, you know, maybe just focusing on something that you want, or focusing on something that you don't want, I suppose, and kind of pretending it's not there. But I think that with the Four of Cups, you're going to be thinking back to the past year, and with the Five of Cups again, that's about loss and focusing on what's gone wrong, and rather than what's going right. And I think that, as we've seen with the Ace of Cups, how interesting is that? In the third segment of 3 months, July through to September, there'll be a change of heart in you, there'll be a change of personality, there'll be a change of the way that you see things. And one of those things that you want to kind of, you know, look at in retrospect is potentially what's happened, because I do see here for 2015 there being a crumbling or a, or a stop of a situation twice. First within the first 3 months, and then second within the second 3 months. So within a 6-month period I do see a couple of changes coming in. But within the last 6 months I see a real change for the better, and potentially something that could really, really work for you, and that you'll be really happy about this new beginning. And then in the final 3 months I see you probably looking back in retrospect at what's happened. You're focused on what you've lost potentially, but then in the back of your mind you know exactly what it is that you've gained. It could be in the back of your mind or the front of your mind really, but you'll know exactly what it is that you've gained and exactly what it is that you've actually got. And then finally the Justice card, and for me the Justice card represents everything common, you know, full circle, fairness, balance, honesty, morals. And I think for some of you guys it will be a case of that, with this thinking of potentially what you've lost in the year 2015. It might be just a couple of small things in terms of jobs, or, you know, it just depends on the person. I think you'll be able to think more objectively once you're in a better place mentally, which comes, I believe, with the Ace of Cups. I believe that you'll be looking back and you'll be rationalising things, and just looking back to see, to potentially look at any mistakes you might have made, or how you could potentially avoid doing those things in the beginning. But I certainly think that generally this reading is talking about, with this Justice card, finally reaching a sense of balance, affairs being ruled in your order. It can in your favour, sorry. I mean, the Justice card can denote obviously legal affairs and, you know, court and decisions being made. But I think this card is also saying, you know, what is it that you do want? Do you want balance? Or do you want to consistently think about maybe what's happened in the past? But generally my gut feeling is that inside you'll be thinking about what's gone on prior in 2015. But because of the Ace of Cups and the Ace of Pentacle cards, I really believe that a new beginning is coming for you guys, and one that you'll potentially stick to and stick with, and you'll be happy about it, and it will create balance and harmony within your life, and there will be fairness and justice for you. You will from time to time, I believe, look back on maybe a couple of things that have happened throughout the year that might have thrown you or might have made you turn the other way, but it's all good, because the Justice card says that whatever it is that you sow, you reap. It's tied in, I believe, with one of the laws of the universe, and that is whatever you put out, you get back. So I think that if you put happiness out, and if you let go of situations that no longer serve you, you'll only ever start coming in with stuff that does happen to serve you. And to me that shows in these two cards. Actually these three. Walking away from a situation and having something good come in to replace it, and being happy about that. So guys, that's your reading for the year ahead 2015, and I'm just going to show you the final card that generally, you know, sums up the whole of the reading. And this was the Nine of Swords, and the Nine of Swords is all about feeling anxious and stressed and feeling, you know, potentially depression for someone, and having kind of a bleak outlook and that type of thing. But this card, when it's looked at to me in its entirety, it's saying that a breakdown is a breakthrough. I'm not saying you're going to have a breakdown, but if you, for some of you guys in 2015, it might come to a point where you really sit down and need to just think to yourself, what's going on here and how can I resolve this? You know, and taking action to resolve it. This card also talks about what goes down must come up. So this would fit in with the Wheel of Fortune, where really at its heart it talks about when things can't get any worse, where else do you go? You have to go up, because there's no bottom left. And this card also talks about darkest hour comes before the dawn. So I think that the general gist of this reading is that there are, from what I can see, in 2015 a couple of challenges, but you need to kind of keep strong, and you need to kind of remember these words: this too shall pass. And for any of you guys, if this reading resonates with you in 2015, please let me know, because it was very easy and very interesting to look at. And it's simply just saying to me that, you know, you started out feeling, potentially for some of you guys, trapped in a situation. The universe has stepped in and said, no more, we're going to have to just shake this person up a little bit to make them, to put them on the right path. And then we have the Wheel of Fortune that will just turn at any time, and it will turn in your favour if things are down. And then we have the Eight of Pentacles, Seven of Wands and the Five of Wands. It shows you feeling limited again, feeling like you need to stand your ground again, feeling like you need to kind of, you know, fight. But for some of you guys, it will just simply be a situation that's not right for you there. So for some of you guys, you may potentially be walking away from it. And in the walking away from it between July and September, you'll actually be able to manifest new stuff into your life, great stuff that you'll be happy about. And finally, the Five of Cups, Four of Cups, Justice card. To me, this signifies you thinking about the past, thinking about what you've gone through. But the Justice card is really saying you need to think about things objectively, rationally. And there will be fairness and balance created in your life once again. So that's the end of your reading, Libra, for the month of, well, it's not the month of, it's the year ahead, 2015. And just to let you know, if you've contacted me on YouTube about a private reading, I will be doing private readings within the next couple of weeks. I'm just setting up the website. Once that's done, I will make sure to attach my email address. And the next reading will be your Law of Attraction reading for the year 2015. So I'll speak with you soon, and take care.